Welcome back to Crime Time Cases, your go-to channel for unraveling stories of crime and controversy. Today, we're delving into the shocking scandal of David Yonggi Cho, the founder of the world's largest megachurch. Once celebrated as a spiritual leader, Cho's legacy took a dark turn when he was convicted of embezzling $12 million in church funds. Let's explore the rise and fall of this influential figure. 1. The rise of David Yonggi Cho. David Yonggi Cho's journey began in humble circumstances when he founded the Yoido Full Gospel Church in 1958. At the time, he had only 5 members attending his services. Despite these modest beginnings, Cho demonstrated a remarkable vision and determination to grow his ministry. His passionate preaching and innovative leadership quickly drew attention, and what started as a small congregation expanded exponentially in the decades that followed. One of the key factors in Cho's success was his emphasis on the power of prayer and faith. He introduced the concept of prayer mountains, dedicated spaces where individuals could retreat for focused prayer and reflection. These initiatives resonated deeply with his audience, who found solace and inspiration in his teachings. Cho also embraced modern media, using television and radio to reach a broader audience, which was revolutionary for religious leaders in the mid-20th century. Under Cho's guidance, Yoido Full Gospel Church became a global phenomenon, attracting millions of followers from all walks of life. By its peak, the church boasted over 800,000 members, making it the largest megachurch in the world. It wasn't just a place of worship, it was a symbol of hope, community, and the growing influence of Christianity in South Korea and beyond. However, as his fame grew, so did the pressures and temptations of leadership. Unbeknownst to many, the cracks in Cho's legacy had already begun to form, foreshadowing a dramatic fall from grace. The scandal unfolds. The year 2011 marked a turning point in the life and legacy of David Yonggi Cho. Allegations of financial misconduct surfaced, casting a shadow over the towering figure of one of the world's most influential religious leaders. The accusations were both shocking and deeply troubling. Cho, in collaboration with his eldest son, Hee-jun, had been implicated in the embezzlement of church funds amounting to $12 million. An investigation revealed the specifics of the scheme. Hee-jun, who held a prominent position within the church, had orchestrated a fraudulent stock transaction. The scheme involved the purchase of shares at an inflated price, several times their actual value, using church funds. These transactions required David Yonggi Cho's approval, which he granted, effectively enabling the misappropriation. For many, it was unthinkable that a spiritual leader of Cho's stature could be entangled in such blatant financial impropriety. The revelations sent shockwaves through the church community and beyond. For decades, members of Yoido Full Gospel Church had trusted Cho not only as a pastor, but as a moral and spiritual guide. Their donations, given with the belief that they would fund the church's outreach programs, charitable works, and operational needs, had instead been diverted for personal and dubious financial dealings. The scandal ignited outrage and heartbreak among the congregation. Members demanded accountability and answers, feeling betrayed by a leader they had revered. This betrayal struck at the core of the church's values and mission, shaking the foundation of trust that had been carefully built over decades. The case quickly attracted media attention, amplifying the public scrutiny on David Yonggi Cho and his family. 3. The trial and conviction. In 2014, after years of speculation, investigations, and mounting evidence, David Yonggi Cho faced the full weight of the law. The charges of breach of trust and embezzlement had culminated in a high-profile trial that captivated not only the members of Yoido Full Gospel Church, but also the global Christian community. The allegations painted a grim picture of financial misconduct, with Cho and his son, Hee-jun, accused of diverting millions from the church's coffers into personal ventures. The trial was a painstakingly thorough examination of the evidence, revealing how $12 million in church funds were funneled into a fraudulent stock scheme. Cho's approval of the transactions, coupled with Hee-jun's role in orchestrating them, left little room for ambiguity. As the case unfolded, it became clear that the pastor's actions had betrayed the trust of his congregation and tarnished the reputation of the world's largest megachurch. Ultimately, the court found David Yonggi Cho guilty of the charges against him. He was handed a 3-year suspended prison sentence, meaning he would avoid jail time unless he committed another offense during the suspension period. In addition, he was ordered to pay a hefty fine of $5 million, a sum meant to reflect the gravity of his actions and the harm caused to the church and its members. The judge's ruling was scathing, pointing out Cho's failure to uphold the moral and ethical responsibilities expected of a spiritual leader. The court underscored the significant breach of trust that had occurred, emphasizing that religious leaders must be held to the highest standards of integrity, particularly when entrusted with large sums of money meant for charitable and spiritual purposes. Fourth, public reaction and aftermath. The scandal involving David Yonggi Cho sent shockwaves through the Christian community, leaving many feeling betrayed and disillusioned. For decades, Cho had been a revered figure, inspiring millions with his teachings of faith and prosperity. The revelation of his embezzlement shattered trust among congregants who had invested deeply in the church's mission. While many were outraged, others mourned the loss of the ideals they associated with him. The scandal raised serious concerns about the lack of accountability in religious institutions and sparked debates about the risks of centralized power in such organizations. Despite the outrage, a significant number of Cho's followers defended him, citing his decades of spiritual service and the positive impact of Yoido Full Gospel Church. In response, the church implemented stricter financial oversight to restore credibility and prevent future abuses. Although efforts were made to rebuild trust, the damage to both the church's reputation and Cho's legacy was profound, serving as a stark reminder of the need for ethical leadership and accountability in all institutions. The story of David Yonggi Cho serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked power and the importance of transparency, even in spiritual institutions. What are your thoughts on this case? Do you think justice was served? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this story compelling, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Crime Time Cases for more true crime and controversial stories. And don't forget to share your suggestions for the next case we should cover. See you in the next video.